Hello and welcome to SciShow Talk Show, our first ever SciShow Talk Show on location somewhere. This is the day where we talk to interesting people about interesting things. We're at the Missoula Insectarium right now. Did I call it the right name?
You called it the right name.
This is Olivia Gordon.
Hi.
Did I call you the right name?
You called me the right name too.
Excellent news.
Welcome.
Thanks. Well, first, what is here? Where are we? What is this?
We are at the Missoula Insectarium. It's an educational space to learn about arthropods. Just inform the public about all the important things that they do.
I just feel like we could talk about bugs all day, and that's probably what we're going to do.
I hope
but
so.
How did you get here? Are you just a bug enthusiast, a human who loves bugs?
Well, I do. I love bugs. I am a human who loves bugs. Although I've never really studied entomology, it's been kind of, like I said, a strange series of events to get me here. When I was a kid, I wanted to be an entomologist. But I have a lot of other interests.
But then, yeah, somebody was like, you can never do that. Get a real job,
yeah,
kid.
Right?
Become an accountant.
But like I said, I have a lot of other interests. I like plants and botany and cultivating them and all sorts of things. So I ended up getting a degree in sustainable agriculture, which was my way of incorporating all of those interests into like one cohesive thing. So I studied entomology through an agricultural lens, more or less, beneficial pest control.
Which is a lot of how entomology is studied. Like that's
true.
like one of the major economic reasons we look into bugs.
Exactly. So after I got this degree and graduated, I ended up applying for an internship at the Smithsonian's Natural History Museum in their insect zoo and butterfly pavilion. And did not ever think I would get this internship. Like I said, I'd never taken an entomology class before. But I have a lot of animal husbandry experience, which I guess was appealing to them. So I got this internship, went and worked in their containment lab for a while, and then this job popped up. And
you're like, hey, I've worked at the Smithsonian.
Yeah. Let's go to Missoula.
Yeah. Now who are you?
So now I am the live collections manager here at the Insectarium.
You take care of all the live things.
I do, yeah. I keep our live collection healthy and sustain the population. So
that's. Is it stressful sometimes? Are you like, oh, the giant bird-eating tarantula is sick and?
Yeah, and that happened actually
a
few months ago. Yeah, we were taking her back and forth between our classroom space and the lab, which I think it was just a humidity change, and her exoskeleton started cracking. So arthropods, they all have exoskeletons, and they have open circulatory systems. So if those exoskeletons crack, they basically will die. They have nothing. They're basically run on hydraulics. So her exoskeleton cracked and she was all curled up. You know when spiders die, they curl up? So essentially that's what's happening. They're losing all of that pressure. So we had to glue her exoskeleton back together and coat her in Vaseline. And it's taken a few months. She just ate for the first time since June last week. So she's, I think, fully recovered from that ordeal. But yeah, it can be really stressful. And, you know, I get attached to these animals for one reason or another. So
You have a lot of spider dreams.
I do.
But all positive
No
ones.
complaints there.
So, for people who haven't been watching SciShow Talk Show for the last 3 years, when we first started doing this, we had a series called Stump Hank, where people would try to make me not know things, or try to uncover things I didn't know, which of course is impossible, because I know everything. But I've heard that you want to try to stump Hank.
Sure, yeah, I do. Mostly because there are a couple animals that I really want to talk about.
Okay.
I think this will be a good segue. So, I have here
some little balls.
5 seeds. However, 2 of them are eggs that are mimicked seeds. And I'm curious if you can determine which 2 are the eggs.
There's 5 things here?
There are 5 things there.
They're very small.
They are very small.
Okay, what is an egg and what is a seed? I have no idea. So that feels to me like it's definitely a seed. I didn't even know that this was a thing obviously I always know everything, but I didn't even know that bugs did this, that they fake seeded with their eggs.
They do.
I'm just gonna guess this one and this one.
All right, so you got one of them right.
Okay, good.
So this, and then this is actually the other one.
Okay. These look very similar.
They do.
But I recognized, I feel like I've seen this seed before.
That's a beet seed.
A beet seed. I have seen that seed before because I have planted beets.
So we'll start with these, because these both have really incredible mimicry.
So this...
So this egg...
Oh, you have the animal that laid this egg.
I do have the animal that laid this egg.
Hi, leaf.
Yeah, this is called a Phyllium, and it's a leaf-mimicking insect. And it just wants to climb.
Yeah. Let me see. Hello, hello. Oh, you're very light. You're so big. Are you full of air? You are full of air. Or those are wings that are laying on top of the leaf-like thing.
They are. So both males and females of this genus have wings, but the females have too much mass to be able to fly.
This is
The
a
males,
female?
this is a female. The males can fly pretty well, which is why I don't have one of them out here.
Right, yes. That is a leaf. I mean, it looks like, it's moving, obviously. Lots of these parts look more like bug. But this, the butt, and with it's like drying out and dying a little bit.
Yep.
That is amazing. And which one of these eggs is this?
It's this one
That,
here.
I mean, that egg looks like a seed.
It does.
There's no way for me to tell without breaking it open.
We'll
Is
just
that
see
a
what's
live
inside.
a live seed, a live egg that might become one of these someday?
Yeah, hopefully it will.
Yeah. So you do a lot of that. You do a lot of creation of the next generation?
Yes.
Because bugs don't live very long.
They don't, no. And we like to try to have examples of different life phases for educational purposes. So yeah, a lot of what I do back in our containment lab is breed and rear. When they first hatch, they're brown. And so that way they can move amongst the forest terrain and that sort of thing until they get up into the trees, and once they start feeding, then they'll turn green.
So you're a leaf eater as well as a leaf beer.
Indeed. And I have seen these guys fool each other, where they'll
Try and
try
eat each
to
other?
eat each other.
I don't know. I wouldn't expect a bug to be able to tell the difference.
Right?
Yeah. Well, I was properly stumped.
Well,
And
okay,
do you have the
so
second seed here?
I do. I have the second seed, and that one is really cool.
What
So
is that?
it's from this other phasmid. It's called Extatosoma terratum. So these guys take advantage of a really cool process called MYRMECOCHORY, which is seed dispersal by ants. And so what they do is they're from up in the tree. You can see it's camouflage to look like tree bark, that sort of thing. So it'll flick that egg down into the forest floor, and it's got this, you can see on one end, this little white spot, which is a mimic elasiome. And an elasiome is a protein-rich structure that attaches some seeds to a pod, and it's the favorite food source of the ant genus Leptomyrmex. And so what they'll do, these ants, is they'll come and they'll collect these eggs and they'll take them back into their burrow and they'll eat that. It's called a capitulum, but it's a mimic elasiome. And
So that actually has food on it.
it actually has, yeah, they provide a little bit of food for this ant.
Okay, and then
And
what
so-
happens is the bug hatches and then it eats all the ants. And it's, it's a give and take, no?
No,
Okay.
not exactly. But they do benefit a lot from this. So the ant will take that down, eat the or the capitulum, and then discard it into their waste bin. But that's the perfect temperature and humidity
It's like a nice little
to
incubator.
incubate the egg. And so when they hatch, they're mimic Leptomyrmex ants. You can see that in this form. That one's a little
like
different.
ants.
So this one has a red head
Oh my god.
and a black body, and they'll curl their abdomen up over their body to look more like an ant. And that allows them to be able to roam around the ant colony until they can find a way to get out. And as soon as they do and climb up into a tree, their color will change to start looking more like tree bark.
And then after a very long time, I
And
imagine
then,
they get
yes,
that big.
yes,
What do they
after
have to eat to make themselves so big?
So in the wild, they eat eucalyptus primarily.
Oh.
Here, I feed them raspberry.
This was your favorite?
Easier to come across here in Montana.
Right. Well, I feel like also a completely different food. Just nothing similar about a eucalyptus leaf and a raspberry.
No,
Eucalyptus is a very, very poor source of nutrients,
it's true.
but raspberries are just packed with sugar. But if it works, it works.
It does. They seem to be content.
Can I hold this so I can see
Yeah,
how heavy it is? Because it looks much
definitely.
heavier.
So,
Looks more dense.
so they don't have any true defenses, but they're amazing mimics. So you'll
They
see.
look like just a big pile of bird food is what that looks like.
But you'll notice when it starts feeling uncomfortable, it curls its abdomen back over its body, and it mimics a scorpion.
It does look a little like a scorpion. That made me a little nervous.
And if you make it really mad, it'll even lift these two front legs up, so it looks like it has
Like it have
pinchers.
little claw things. Oh, well, I'm sorry that I made you uncomfortable, so that now that you feel like you have to be a scorpion. all your genetic ancestors are chowing on eucalyptus leaves trying to make a living, but you can just someone just puts a raspberry in your cage every day. How many raspberries?
Well, so it's the leaves of the raspberry. It's not actually eating
why
a
didn't you
raspberry.
correct me on
I
that
didn't
like
realize
1,000
that's
years ago?
what you were saying. No. I cut the raspberries off
Okay.
before the leaves.
Are you going to try and stump me again?
I think I already successfully stumped you.
I should have just picked the two biggest ones because they're the two biggest ones. I thought for a second that this was a bug because it looks a little like a bug.
It does. It's misleading. Yeah, and I wish I had a seed with an ELAIOSOME, but unfortunately I don't.
Yeah, that's a cool. So this might hatch and become a bug?
Hopefully.
What is a bug?
A bug, that's a good question. So there is an order of true bugs. We refer to bugs mostly as terrestrial arthropods, any terrestrial arthropod. So we don't really call like a lobster a bug.
Yeah.
But we'll call an isopod, a pill bug, or roly-poly a bug, and they're both crustaceans.
Got it. I feel that definition and I like it a lot.
Okay.
Terrestrial arthropod.
Yes.
Okay, good. But you might not have. Do you have more things to show? I just want to see all.
Yeah,
the
you want to
bugs.
hang out with some bugs?
I feel like we could do this for days. What? So, I see giant cockroach-looking things. I see a big spider. Do you have any big spiders in there?
In here?
No, you don't have any
In
big
here?
spiders. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Should I go get one?
That's too. I like her. No, let's look at this giant myriapod.
Yeah, there you go. So this is a giant African millipede. It's the biggest millipede species in the world.
That's big.
It is big.
Are millipedes ever dangerous?
So some of them can excrete cyanide,
So you wouldn't want to
which,
lick your
like,
hands
yeah,
afterward.
if you rubbed your eyes or something. This species can't. All of them can excrete some sort of chemical defense.
That's their strategy, their main strategy.
Exactly. But for the most part, they just curl up. And that's because, if you feel it, it's got a really hard exoskeleton.
Oh, wow, yeah, that feels like a pen, like a big pen.
But the only place that it's vulnerable is here. Under its legs is where its spiracles are, which is where it breathes through. So essentially what it's doing when it curls up is it's protecting the vulnerable place in its exoskeleton.
This beautiful spider. That is, so have you counted the legs?
I haven't, not on this particular individual. No, they can
But
have
apparently you have counted.
up to 750 legs.
Oh, God, you're so close to 1,000. Oh, that's a bummer. You have to selectively breed them. Breed the ones with the most legs so that eventually we can get a millipede that has 1 million legs. I mean,
So unfortunately,
million.
that's not really how it works. They're all born with the same number of legs, and then every time they molt, they add on a new segment and therefore new sets of legs.
So you just have to keep it alive longer.
So you just have to keep it alive. So millipedes have 2 sets of legs per body segment, whereas centipedes only have 1.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. I do. I've heard that your centipede is maybe the. That's heavy. You. Oh! It didn't like me.
So that's another defensive
It
mechanism.
didn't like me at all.
It'll poop on you.
And itself. Oh, man.
Here,
No.
you want to trade for a minute?
Yeah, okay. I'll take the napkin.
I'll take the poop.
The poop machine. That was a lot of poop,
Yeah,
dude.
that was impressive. I've never experienced that much of a spray before.
Interestingly, you know what that smells like?
What?
Poop.
Fascinating.
This is the best episode
Well,
of SciShow Talk Show ever.
rude. I apologize.
It's because I said it was so heavy. It was like,
I was like, I'll lose some
a little
weight.
self-conscious. Yeah, you did. You lost a lot of weight just then. Okay, come
All
back.
right, ready?
Come back. You're done now. You got nothing left. So that wasn't the actual chemical defense. That was just poop.
That was just poop.
Okay. One of the most dangerous animals you have in here is a myriapod.
It is. Yeah, so that's our giant desert centipede.
I didn't know centipedes could be dangerous. They're all around.
They are, and they're super aggressive predators.
Okay.
So
Let's do this thing.
these guys are decomposers. They'll just eat leaf litter.
Stuff that's
and
already
stuff that's, they're
dead. Yeah.
harmless. But
Except for the poop.
centipedes, centipedes are active hunters. They have venom glands and fangs, which are actually modified front legs. Instead of a spider or something that's its fangs and venom comes from its mouth parts, these come from its legs. So it's like the worst hug you could ever get.
Okay. All of its legs?
Just the first two have venom, but they're all insanely strong and they can
I feel like you're
grab on
speaking
with their
from
back
experience.
legs. Luckily, no, not yet.
Not yet. You're just ready. It will happen.
It probably will happen.
He's very good at making my skin crawl. Mm-hmm. Not like
All
in that
those
way where
legs.
you're like, ugh, but just like I was like being brushed with a feather constantly. and
Yeah,
consistently.
their tarsi, their legs are a lot stronger than you would imagine.
Yeah, every once in a while he'll grab on. So I feel like we're not creepy enough. Can we get creepier? Can we go creepier?
Sure.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah. That's
Whoa.
was that creepy?
that was an interesting feeling. It was like taking tape off.
Like Velcro. So
Yeah.
whenever, yeah.
It was like if there was some Scotch tape on me. It was like rip. Oh, neat. Oh,
All right.
I love bugs.
So
Okay.
creepy. What do you mean creepy?
She's like, nothing in this place is creepy. There are 0 creepy bugs.
So we just fed this wolf spider,
Oh, that's definitely.
and it's still
Oh,
eating.
that's creepy.
If you're interested in that,
It's still eating? What is it eating?
So you can see the cricket down there.
Oh, is it
in
just
its mouth.
sucking the juices out?
Yeah. So spiders don't have chewing mouth parts. They have fangs with venom, and they use a method called exodigestion. So exo on the outside, digestion. So essentially, what they do when they eat is they'll envenomate their prey and then regurgitate digestive enzymes into the body of that prey, and that liquefies the inside of their prey item.
So you can't move and your insides get digested. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm glad I'm
Yep.
not a cricket.
And then they get sucked right back up after they're liquefied.
I would say that this is a creepy animal.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. It is, yeah. So wolf spiders and salticids, which are jumping spiders, are the only spiders that have any eyesight, really, or good eyesight at all. So they're active hunters. They'll actively seek out prey, like a wolf. Whereas other spiders rely on vibration or a web.
Good job to you, Wolfie, hunting down that cricket that was just placed into your tank.
Indeed.
Oh, gosh.
All right.
Oh, God, there's so many things. This place
So
is
many
full
things.
of treasures.
I couldn't even decide what to bring out here. There's
you're
so
just-
many fun things. So
that guy right up.
these are blue death feigning beetles. They're native to the southwest here, and their defense mechanism is to play dead.
Wow. Does a good job.
They do an excellent job,
They pick them up and they're like,
right? So if a bird or something, comes along, they're not going to want to eat something that's already dead.
why not?
It's just not the way it works.
Oh, man.
Fortunately
maybe
for
it's
them,
already been digested.
they've figured that out.
Oh, man, yeah. Those look dead.
Mm-hmm.
They have stopped moving. So they're southwest sandy desert
Desertous.
things.
Yeah.
It's the sound they make on the table. It's like they're marbles, rocks.
Yeah, so these are a kind of ironclad beetle.
Yeah.
So they have incredibly strong exoskeletons.
Probably also helps when it comes to death feigning because somebody starts pecking at you. They're like,
Right.
oh, this isn't going to work anyway.
So this blue color, their exoskeleton is actually black. You can rub this powder coating off.
And he's like, I'm gonna stop
like,
playing dead now
yeah.
because you keep touching me. So it has some kind of power.
So it's actually acts as a sunscreen. Since they're out in the desert all the time, so.
Yeah, and they just secrete that onto them. So where does it come from? Do they have like a gland, or is it just like all over?
It's just, comes out. It's not a gland. They don't like, rub it on themselves. It just is excreted directly through the exoskeleton.
I wouldn't expect that a beetle would need sunscreen, but there you have it. You just flicked it. You just flicked your own beetle. You're in charge of taking care of these things.
I am.
No, it's
They're
dead.
both dead.
Well, I like this defense mechanism better than the
pooping
fountain of feces.
Fair enough.
So much interesting stuff. I mean, if you are ever in Missoula, Montana, there's an Insectarium here. I don't know that everybody knows that. Also, there might be an Insectarium near where you live, if you live in a place.
True statement.
Not on the internet, which is where I actually live. What a bunch of cool stuff. Thank you for sharing your things and your knowledge and your bugs.
Yeah.
That was fascinating.
Thanks for coming in. I'm excited.
It was very nice to meet you.
You too.
Olivia Gordon, the live collections manager at the Missoula Insectarium. Thank you for watching this episode of SciShow Talk Show, where we talk about stuff. If you want to learn more, watch more of these, you can go to youtube.com/scishow and subscribe and like the video. I never tell you to do that, so do that.